Hello, I'm James Scott, former custom car and bike painter, now tattoo artist and body painter. I'm been looking for client chairs, and couldn't decide because I could not find any reviews on the top models of tattoo client chairs. Even the reviews I did find on these were not exactly what I was looking for, so I had a really hard time deciding. And I want to try and help alleviate some of that pressure that somebody might feel looking for their first tattoo chair, or even second or third tattoo chair, because these are the top three. Needle Parlor, which is also, some people say it's the Royal Massage Ink Star, which I'm not sure because I haven't seen that to actually compare it to see if it's exactly the same. They look very, very similar. A few tiny differences, but we'll see about as far as the quality goes. I have a feeling that the Needle Parlor version might be the better quality. I don't know. Can't really make that claim without actually seeing it. Then, of course, Tat Soul, which has been around for quite a while, and of course the Ink Bed, which is the most sold bed and probably the original, I believe. Anyways, so we'll start by comparing all three of them as quickly as I can. I have chosen the Needle Parlor X1 as probably my favorite chair and definitely the client's favorite chair. So if the client's comfort is something that you prefer and like, even though it's all about you and the longevity of the chair, that might be the one that you choose just because it impresses the clients. It's like the Cadillac as far as comfort compared to the other ones. The padding is 5 inches compared to 3.5 inches in the center of this and 4 inches on the ink bed. And the material of this is ultra soft, and it's a really soft PVC kind of material, so it's a high quality material. Not leather, but it's a really high quality that's known to last a long time, this PVC material. And I believe Tat Soul has a PVC material also, but this is much harder. Probably a medium to very firm feel, not quite as comfortable and cozy as the Needle Parlor. And then the ink bed is the hardest of all three, with a really hard vinyl, I believe this is. And vinyl is known to not last quite as long as the PVC material, but I'm not sure. Maybe the ink beds are vinyl. I just read a few reviews that said, PVC, and I read a few reviews that said these were vinyl. So I don't know. And I've seen complaints because the ink bed of course, has lower stars because it only has 3.5 stars. But that is because they have sold thousands of these compared to these other ones that hardly have any reviews. So you're comparing apples to oranges because there are lots of people that love the ink bed. So I don't know. It's personal preference. But on all three of them, you got different features that you may or may not like. And what are you looking for? For me, I don't like bending over to tattoo someone, so my neck and back get really sore if I'm tattooing someone's feet or their back or arms when they're laying down, and the chair does not go high. And I like them at eye level, so I don't have to bend over and get a sore back. So in that case, I would say that what do you call it? Tat Soul goes the highest. It goes 31 inches tall, which is almost pretty good. If you have a nice low chair, you're pretty good. Could be pretty close to eye level if your chair is low enough. And then, of course, I would say the ink bed is the next lowest at next highest at 29 inches, and the Needle Parlor loses that game at only 27 inches total height. And they said that's because of in order to get that really impressive 600-pound weight limit, they had to adjust a few things on that. Even though the hydraulic is pretty much the same as on the Tat Soul, the way they distribute the weight and everything on this bed is pretty important. So what I'm going to do to compensate, because I love this chair so much, is I'm going to add 5-inch wheels to the bottom of this that lock. So that will give me another 5 inches, and then that will have the other two beat. And it just won't go as low. So it's nice that it goes really low because it goes as low as 20 inches. And you'd probably need low, because if you're doing a back piece and they're straddling this and have their face in the face hole here, as the other two have the same face hole, and they're straddling this, and you're trying to get their shoulder blades or back, you want it as low as possible because you want to get up to their shoulder blades. Again, the low is really great for this one. So I want to make removable wheels for this, because I do still want to have that low feature for the back pieces. And this chair is probably twice as wide as the other two, the seat portion, which is super comfortable and wide. You can have big 600-pound people on here, and 600-pound weight limit is pretty cool. And one of the main features I was looking for, because I have bent a couple chairs, the hydraulic, not because of the weight limit, because 250, 300-pound people bent my chairs. And the weight limit is like 400 or 350 on these other two, but that weight limit is sitting dead center of the hydraulic. So you have to sit your butt right dead center of this, because if you sit at one end, or even if you sit, especially if you sit on the leg portion or up higher, you're going to, even 250 pounds, you're going to bend that hydraulic. And a lot of people have complained about those sort of things. The hydraulic's not working as well, or the chair starts getting tilted and wonky. So it just kind of goes down at an angle after a while. I've seen that. And it's from not sitting dead center and then laying down, or distributing your weight properly. And as you can see underneath the Tat Sole, there is a, what do you call it, like an 8-inch riser there, which means it has more room to tilt back and forth. And so if someone sits to the left, the right, or front, back of that, you're losing a lot of that. You're risking bending things and whatnot. While underneath the needle parlor, there's a riser plate, but twice as thick, and it goes the entire bottom of that seat. So no matter where you sit on that seat, you're getting the full value of that weight limit, which is one of the reasons why they got this up to a 600-pound weight limit. Still, you don't want to sit on the legs or the back. You can still bend things. I mean, it's 600-pound weight limit is for dead center. But still, 300-pound person should be fine on this one at any position they get on it. And of course, the ink bed is the thinnest and sort of cheapest, because its hydraulic is half the size and thickness of the other two. And its weight limit is a little bit lower, I believe, but they do distribute weight pretty good if you sit dead center. And underneath the bracket goes the full extent from front to back, which helps with that smaller hydraulic. And the ink bed also has the swing out legs, and the legs that go up and down. And they go up and down with a hydraulic, but the swing out portion is just a lever, which is really easy to use. And the back of it has a comfy pad to put your arm on, and a foot railing at the bottom. When you go over to the my Cadillac version of these chairs, the needle parlor, the back of that, stainless steel bar, which you can put padding on it if you like, and then stainless steel and a rubber padding so their feet don't slip off of the chair while you're tattooing, which could be important, especially if they have some dog dew under their shoe. They might slip, and you don't want that happening while you're tattooing their back. But anyways, another thing I'd like to point out about the needle parlor chair, all stainless steel versus regular steel that's chrome plated, and of course some galvanized, in the galvanized, but the cheaper metals on these other chairs compared to that. And as you know, stainless steel, hardened stainless steel, and like there's some aircraft aluminum on here, with the hinges and stuff that are twice as thick and strong as the other ones. You're talking quality difference. Even all the nuts and bolts are stainless steel. If you've ever tried undoing bolts or fixing something on something that's not stainless steel, you're looking at stripping bolts and bending bolts, and only being able to do it a couple times. And stainless steel, of course, lasts way longer. And so I think the quality of this chair is better than the other two. The price, about $1,000, and about only $600. But look, this one does not come with armrest. Just comes like that. They want $150 for each armrest. and then you're back up to $1,000. So, but it's your own personal preference, and you only use one armrest at a time. So, they can just tilt over if they don't like having something to rest their other arm on while they're being tattooed. So I don't know. Two armrests seems like an important thing. The Tatsole comes with two armrests built into it, and which is nice. The wings here added on the side that go in and out. Those are pretty cool because if you're you tattooing a wider person, it's perfect for a wider person, but it's also perfect for getting those inner biceps and or on the flip side, the back of their arm, their biceps, because you don't need an armrest for them to reach out over the top, which can be handy. But the armrest, of course, is handy because you can get in closer. So you may still need to use an armrest. So there are some benefits to these wings for sure, but they're an added cost. I believe $175 for the pair. Not bad. I mean, there are quite a few uses for that. And then the regular standard armrests that come on these chairs are the L shape that go up and down as you sit, which is nice because somebody may want to be texting or whatever with their arms and use their hands. Without armrest, you're not doing that. It gets a little tiring. So I think they all should come with armrests. And of course, Needle Parlor, the one I brag about, this is just the one I'm happiest with. I'm not selling it for them because I don't even think they sell these right now. They're usually sold out. But anyways, this one came with two armrests. Extra thick 5-inch armrests. I already mentioned this, right? Extra soft material, medium hard material, and then really hard material over there. You're talking about 4 inches versus 3.5 inches versus 5 inches thick. This is the Cadillac of the three, and people compare sitting in this to sitting in the Lazy Boy. It's the common thing that people tend to tell me is, oh, this is the Lazy Boy of all the tattoo chairs. So my clients definitely prefer this, and if you want to impress clients, they're just going to feel more comfortable, and they really like this chair. I mean, the materials, there's no wiggle to it. It's very solid. A little bit wiggle to the Tatsole. I don't know if you can see it. Not bad, but customers start moving sometimes they talk with their hands, and their whole body moves, or they're just making an adjustment, and the whole chair moves while you're tattooing their leg. That could be a little bit of an issue, but it can be firmed up a little bit more. I think one of my feet are a little bit off, but overall it has to do with that 8-inch bracket underneath there. If it was the entire extent of the seat, it'll be a little firmer, like on the Needle Parlor, which hardly wiggles at all. It's pretty solid. And then, of course, the ink bed is a little bit wiggly, but the easiest to move around and the lightest. That's also a benefit in the tattoo studio. And this is the go-to chair for most people just because of the affordability. But like I said, by the time you buy the armrests, for that one, it's pretty much the same, close to the same $1,000 as these other two are. Might be personal preference. And why do you choose Tatsole or Inkbed or whatever? Inkbed has the hydraulic leg lift, kind of cool, but hydraulics can go bad, but they're not too expensive to replace. The back of it, no, the old standard lift and pull still. It's a known feature that lasts a really long time. And on the Tatsole, they have both the front, the legs, everything that's all mechanical. So basically not anything can really go wrong with it. There's no hydraulics that can break. It's just the old arm leg pulls, and the same with the back. Very easy. The two front legs move individually up and down, but they do not spread apart, which is not necessarily, you don't really need to spread the legs apart if you're putting one leg down and tattooing the inside of the other leg. Not a big deal, right? But it's kind of handy in some respects because you can move the legs out of the way completely if you're doing a back piece on these other two. So moving the legs out is a pretty cool feature. If you do a lot of back pieces, it's nice to have those out of the way. But still, not a deal breaker for the Tatsole. And like I said, Tatsole, not a lot can go wrong. And if you want, these things are known to last a long time. I believe it's a PVC material, like on the softer needle parlor. So I'm still not 100% sure if the ink bed is PVC or vinyl, but I have read that it's vinyl, and I've read that it cracks and has issues with the seams and stuff. The seams all look pretty tough on the ink bed. Looks like it's stitched pretty good, double stitches and everything. And the tat sole, same thing, but it feels like a thicker material, even though it's a little bit softer than the ink bed. And then of course the needle parlor is ultra soft. So I don't know. I mean, I don't know how strong this PVC material is. It's supposed to be the highest quality you can get, but I would imagine if someone had keys in their pockets, and they're going to penetrate this really soft material a lot faster than this tat sole. So I don't know. The tat sole is kind of the tank of the three as far as the bed material. As far as all the mechanics and everything, needle parlor definitely has stainless steel everywhere, and the aircraft aluminum hinges. I mean, the high quality materials that you would see in something that would last quite a while. But again, it has hydraulics. The leg lifts are hydraulics. The back of the chair, hydraulics. But here they use, stainless steel back here, stainless steel footrest with the, what do you call it, leg rest. Did I already mention that? Here we have a, this is a soft silicone versus hard plastic, but it's one-handed. You just press this, and you can lift the back up and down, and the hydraulic is big enough and strong enough that you could do this while the client's on there. Pretty handy. But you know what? The ink bed has a $1,000 electric version. Oh, I think it was more like $1,100, but it's pretty similar. $1,100, $1,200 for an electric version, which is all power, which is pretty cool, right? But it has the same cheaper ink bed, plastic seat, and all that. So I'm not too sure. Some people say the quality is probably pretty similar to that same weight limit, only 400 pounds, I believe. Which again, like I said, 400 pounds doesn't mean 400 pounds. It means 400 pounds dead center of the chair. So that could actually only be a 250 pound limit, depending on where you sit. I have bent a few chairs on my own experience. But anyways, the electric, chair, what happens if the legs quit working and going up and down? Electric, you have to get an electrician, fix it. The whole chair is broken, won't work, right? While the tat sole, nothing can really go wrong with that. If something breaks, easy to replace a bar or whatever. There's not a lot of, it's all mechanic. So it's probably the less risky of all three. And then, of course, this chair has hydraulics everywhere, because you can do one hand lift the legs and move the legs out of the way with one hand with the silicone levers. It's pretty cool, but hydraulics can go wrong, but they're fairly easy and cheap to replace, so it's not a huge deal breaker. But if a leg breaks, of course, then you have to wait until you get your parts ordered. But you know what? This comes with a 3-year warranty versus 1 year and 1 year. Again, another reason why this seems to be the Cadillac of the three. The warranty and the needle parlor customer service has been pretty impressive, even though I've only been dealing with them for about a month now. So I really don't know a lot about the company, but I'm super impressed. It was delivered to me for free within 3 days from California. So that was a pretty impressive little thing that they got it to me so fast. The tat sole took a little longer, but it's still, same thing. Good company, good quality. And then ink bed, of course, you hear some bad reviews and some good reviews about their customer service. Depends, bigger company, they sell more things, and you're talking selling thousands of chairs. The likelihood of having more complaints is definitely there, compared to hundreds of reviews, compared to like 10 reviews of this chair. So, how do you really compare? It's apples to oranges. You don't really have that kind of comparison. So the only way we have to think about is, what do you need as a tattoo artist? You need a chair that goes higher. Then you got this chair. That chair, I'm going to put some wheels on it and make it a little bit taller, and wheels that come on and off, so I could lower it again. Because I do like that it goes down as low as 20 inches, which is really nice for a back piece, so you can get to the back shoulder blades and everything, because it goes so low. and the other ones are 24 inches, I believe, each. So that's 4 inches. 4 inches makes a big difference in, you know, saving your back and saving, uh, your arms and your neck from bending around. You want things eye level, so you want these chairs to go as high as possible. And I'm going to jimmy rig this needle parlor. I'm gonna get like a bar and put some wheels underneath here, and that I can lift it up another 5 inches, or take it out if I need to go really low. Which you could do on the other two also. Definitely could jimmy rig something on the Tatso. I mean, you got the perfect spot where the foot pedal, the foot braces are. You just pull those out and probably screw in some casters, and you can raise that up a few inches and roll it around really easy. Needle parlor does roll around pretty good. It has some solid rubber wheels in the back, but it is heavy. This is probably twice as heavy as the other two. Not quite. The Tatso is pretty heavy, but yeah, that one was really heavy. I think it was 300 pounds, 200 pounds, and then maybe 100 pounds for this one. So you can tell the quality of materials, the thinner metals. If you can see the thin metal is right here. What is that? Yeah, it's probably, 1/4 inch steel right there versus not 1/4 inch. This is like 1/8 inch steel right there compared to stainless steel, which is much thicker. Or you have this really thick. What is that? God, that's almost not quite half an inch. It's a little more than, it's more than 1/4 inch of aircraft aluminum, and stainless steel versus all the other ones, stripped nuts and screws. So anyways, this review's taken entirely too long. I'm just trying to give everyone a good feel for all the differences in what you would want. If you want to get into something quick and easy, the ink bed is, it's known for being, I think, the original, and easy to move around. It's smaller, so you can fit more of them in your shop. Also important, as the needle part is twice as, doesn't look like it from the video, because I got the extra wings on the Tatso right next to it, and with the extra wings, it's the same width as, the needle part. The needle part is really wide. You can fit some pretty good wide people on this one, and it has the cool soft armrests that move around and tilt, that come with it. The regular armrest came with that. The wings are extra $175. And then, of course, I believe the ink bed had extra cost for all the little additives that you can get, add-ons you can get for that one. That one's cool. It rolls around, it's easy, throw it in a corner, it's light, and it does the job. I mean, people use these for years, and not everybody complains about it. So, read reviews on that one. Not as many reviews on the Tatso, but there are some good and bad. And then there's only a few reviews on this chair. So I can't really say. I can only say that the materials and the quality of materials seem better than the other two. It is a really soft material, so it gets this really wrinkly look to it, but which isn't bad, but it's really, I can squeeze, you just sink into this chair, and the clients really seem to love this chair, and I've had them sit in all three, and it's just like, the three bears and sitting in this is mama's chair, and the baby's chair, and daddy's chair, so it's like, everyone's gonna sit in daddy's, little recliner over here. So clients will choose this one. And as far as you, which is the most important reason why you have the chair, the size of your shop and what you need to do with the chair, and the added benefits of some of the things these do. I wish I could do some of the things to these other chairs that they all have some features I like. And so I'm going to try and convert this to have some of the features these other two have. And I think I'm going to keep this one and the Tatso. I think I'm going to sell the ink bed, only because it's new, it's brand new and basically new, and no flaws in it yet. But I'm worried that something can go wrong with it. Just from the reviews I read, and I already have issues with this leg, one leg, the way it goes back and forth, it gets stuck. There it goes. It goes back. And it's a two-handed deal, unlike the one-handed deal with the other chair, but it's a two-handed deal. Not a big deal. But I had a client sit in this thing, and then the leg just swing out. And their leg fall down, which was kind of weird. So it doesn't lock. But the other side locks. Just a little minor flaw. But again, more things can go wrong with more little mechanics and cheaper materials. They have all the same mechanics over here, but they improved the how it was all done. They got rid of all the mistakes they made on the tassel, and they improved upon those mistakes instead of copying them exact. And so it's different. I mean, they're built differently. The mechanics are built a little bit differently. You could definitely tell and feel the rickety cheaperness, not even a word, of the ink bed. So anyways, out of the three, I'm keeping that one for sure, and I'm going to modify it just a little bit to fit more of my needs. It's heavy and it's wide. It takes up too much room, but I do like it, and I for myself, and I really like it for the clients. And then this one has the wider, the wings, and has the armrests, and and it has things that won't break. Nothing's gonna break on it. Everything's mechanical. There's no hydraulics, nothing that can really go wrong with it. So if this breaks or something goes wrong with this chair is always gonna work. And I think that's why it has a higher price point, even though it doesn't have cool hydraulics or electric or anything like that. It's just a solid bed, a little thinner material, but I think it's thicker than the other beds. I don't know, and I'm not sure. This ultra soft PVC material is supposed to be really strong. I'm just worried about it getting scratched or penetrated because it is so soft. I don't know. I don't know that yet. It has a 3-year warranty though, while the other two only have 1-year warranty. So it's up to you what you want, what your needs are, but these are the reviews of the top 3. And that's not even including all the Chinese models. These are all Chinese, never mind, they're Chinese, but the Chinese name brands were the no-name brands, where they're even cheaper than these. But there are some, I guess, are pretty decent quality. So you want to consider what everything is made of. You don't want stainless steel won't rust, and some of these chairs will rust because you're cleaning on them, and they're things you get green soap and whatever, things get wet and rust. I've seen these bases get really rusty and bubbled up. Have you seen that? This one is new, so you're not kind of new, so you won't see that here. But here we have a powder coated version, which is a hardened paint base, and everything else underneath it stainless steel and aluminum. Whereas this is thinner, lighter materials, and just look at that hydraulic under here. It is like only an inch wide compared to 2.5, 3 inches for those thick hydraulics on the other beds. So you really have a difference in quality with these other two beds, but they're $1,000 compared to $600, which by the time you buy armrests and everything, which come with these other two, you're getting closer to 900. With that other chair, so 6, 7, 8, yeah, 800, close to 900 for that one. So it depends what you want, what you need. I'm sorry for babbling so much because this took entirely too long, but hopefully you're still watching if you are interested in doing your shopping through with my advice. Sorry about this long video. I'm just realizing that was really not necessary. I'm gonna try and make a shorter version.